Thruxton. It's a bit warmer than Knockhill.
Practice has been strong all weekend for us. Like I said, the bike's been working really well. The team's been working awesome, and you know, we're just doing what we can do with what we've got. At the end of the day, we've seen all year that the BMW is not as strong as some of the other bikes on the grid, and we're working really hard to try and jump that gap, really, close that gap, and try and be faster than them as well. So at least here we're a lot closer.
Friday was actually an okay day, to be honest. We started off in the top 10, we got P10 in the first session. Wasn't feeling actually too good on the bike, but we made some good changes for FP2. And then we were straight into the top 10, like a solid time. I was happy, we made a good improvement. We was going in the right direction. I mean, in FP1 we did the whole session on the same tyre just to try and do some analysis on the race run. For FP2 we put in a tyre at the end. I was a little bit too hesitant on the tyre than what I should have been, but just give me that experience ready for the building for qualifying on the Saturdays.
See you guys.
Yeah, P2 on the grid. Happy enough, really. Front row obviously is awesome. The bike's been working really well, actually. For the race though, like, doing one lap's one thing here, and doing a full race, doing 20 of them is something completely different. We definitely won't be at that speed for the race, because if you try and ride at that speed, we won't make the end of the race. It's really, really grippy here, so we go through tyres really fast. And if you punish the tyre too early in the race, then you won't make the end of the race. So the first job for the weekend is done, which was get on the front row. At least we're at the front, so as long as we get away clean at the start, we can use a bit of slipstream. You're not having to use tyre to get from, say, 10th or 15th to get to the front. We're already there, so we can just hopefully sit there and see what happens. The Yamahas are really, really strong at the moment. We've seen that all year, and they look after the tyre really, really well, better than what we can with the BMW. So winning the race, I think, is honestly out of the question, but that's not to say that I won't try, of course. I'll be trying to win, but I'm also realistic about where we could possibly finish. And yeah, I think the win is out of the question. Who knows about everything else?
Try and clear a space there. Yeah, go on. Try and clear a space.
Should have paid the tow money, Jack. This is what happens when you don't pay up. The bank details are going to go on the seat unit soon. Yeah, no, all in all was good. Finally, to be back on the front row. It feels like a long year, but it's good. We knew we was quick here. We knew that if we couldn't win here or get on the podium here, it's going to be hard here. But yeah, the bike's in a good place. We're in a good place. Just like all year, really. We just not had the luck to go our way to make it happen. But now we're there, and I think we needed this little bit of confidence, little boost, and get race one out of the way and see what happens. I know we got good pace. We can make the tyre last, and now it's just literally settling into a rhythm, trying to break them the first 2 or 3 laps, and then trying to control the race from the front and hopefully get some champagne. That's the plan.
If I try and like hold the line anymore, it's just trying to wander. And engine brake was probably better again, but it's like in that 2-3 lap window, I just didn't have time to try dry 2 because it's like you're pushing like mad. But obviously the bike was completely different to yesterday, wasn't it? And I also just went like a second faster, but there were just a few places where I felt like ran into a few more issues. Like rear was pumping quite a lot, especially up the start-finish straight. And yeah, that's after like 2 laps. I know it's like the tyre drops quick here, but bit of pumping now, and also the front's still wandering bad.
We'll have a look at that. Maybe.
Like I followed Braden Elliott, and you know the long right, Goodwood. You know there's a new stripper tarmac on entry. He started on the new stripper tarmac and can turn all the way back to the apex. If I do that, I just couldn't hold a line, and that's getting to the neutral phase. Tapping the throttle in, it's both, so...
Once we get the bikes back, we'll get the data out and we'll have a look.
Okay.
See, we'll make a plan for it.
was disaster for Andy Irwin at the start of the Bennetts BSB eBay sprint race. He was supposed to start on the front row, but a mechanical failure meant he couldn't get the Cinetic BMW going. Jason O'Halloran was on pole position number 22, then alongside Peter Hickman, but it was a rocket ship start for Glenn Irwin on the second row, number 2, the winner of the opening 3 races at Silverstone, went the long way round the outside at turn 1 and led then into turns 2 and 3 ahead of O'Halloran, who immediately got himself back through. Peter Hickman was 3rd at this point. It was a good start from Jackson in 4th, but there was drama at the end of the opening lap in the final chicane. Just in the background there, Luke Mossey coming down and being carried away. Chrissy Rouse went down also, and unfortunately it looked like on that lap we also lost Danny Kent as well. Fantastic shots of the riders flying through Church. Bradley Ray made his move on Peter Hickman to move up into 2nd, as they all saw Jason O'Halloran disappearing off into the distance. And then Taron McKenzie made his move as well. Brad Ray fought his way up to try and challenge Jason O'Halloran for victory. As we got to the closing stages, McKenzie and Ray got themselves embroiled in a proper ding-dong scrap. A little apology there from Taron McKenzie, but it wasn't over there. Ray had the look up the inside into the club chicane. They both went deep, but on the cut back, McKenzie took the inside line. And as you'll see here, there was just a moment's but it's another win. Olsen was on pole position, and it was the return of Tim Neve at Thruxton for race 1 in the Pirelli National Superstock Championship. The lights went out, and it was a good start from all on the front row. Braden Elliott was flying through, but ultimately couldn't quite make it into the top 3. Davey Todd it was that got the whole shot into turn 1 ahead of Alex Olsen. A couple of riders went wide, but there was immediate concern for Tim Neve. Unfortunately, on the 1902 Edwards Yamaha, black and orange flag out. Luckily, no damage done because there was smoke billowing out of the side on the opening lap. Olsen went through on Davey Todd to take the lead, and the top 4 was starting to branch away with Billy McConnell in 3rd and Lewis Rollo in 4th, and it was a big smile on the face of Feiho at that point as Olsen was in pursuit of his first victory of the year. Rollo made a mistake and it was down to 3, sideways style from McConnell, a big, bold, brave move from him into turn 1 to move up into 2nd place as he tried to hunt down Alex Olsen, but he failed in his attempts, and ultimately it looked like he was running out of tyre as well. Davey Todd went through on him, and he then faded further still. This amazing moment. Watch the smoke billowing out of the 2 machines there. That's Nesbitt going through to take his first podium. Olsen it is, though, the winner from Davey Todd, with Charlie Nesbitt in 3rd. A great race here at Thruxton.
Yes, final.
In here, it would have been a tough year, you know. We've done 3 out of 3 now, so if we weren't going to be quick here, we wouldn't have been quick anywhere. But the team and the bike's been in the right place all year. It's just we didn't have bad luck, we didn't have luck at all. So lucky for us, we've pulled it out this weekend. We're back on the top of them with the team needs to be, and have another go tomorrow.
The race winner, BMW.
Yeah, feeling good, to be fair. Like we said, if we didn't do it here, we wouldn't do it anywhere. I think we pushed that hard, my soles come off my boots, but yeah, it was good. It's where we need to be, it's where the team need to be, and have another go tomorrow. Hopefully we'll be a step forward and just have another go, really. You know, when you start getting into the later part of them races, you don't really know who's around you, and when you've got +0 on your board for 15 laps, you never know how hard to actually push, especially at Thruxton, but to come here and win, it's always good. Let's have another go tomorrow.
Yeah, Thruxton is a bit of a strange circuit, as everyone knows. There's not really any others like this on the calendar, so we didn't have the best qualifying position. We were also starting on the outside, which there's not a very long run down to turn 1 here, so it wasn't the easiest. I got pushed out wide in the first lap and lost a few positions, so I was sort of fighting a bit of an uphill battle from the start, but didn't know what to expect in terms of tyre wear either over the full race distance, so probably hung about a bit more than I should have, but actually we came a bit stronger at the end of the race, started picking a few people off, and gained a lot of knowledge today, because I actually didn't have a clue what the race was going to be like. So fingers crossed tomorrow we can sort of take that information forward, and I can improve a little bit more and just get onto that front group and be where I think we should be.
Hey, Rogie.
Bennetts British Superbike began with drama for Storm Stacey, who unfortunately the chain came off and they tried to get him back out again, ready to start race 2. He started from pit lane. It was Brad Ray on pole position though on the Rich Energy OMG Racing Yamaha and 2 McCams Yamahas, and it was the McCams Yamahas that got the whole shot, most notably Jason O'Halloran, the championship leader, with Glenn Owen in 4th and Pete Eggman in 5th. Getting involved with Tom Sykes and Leon Haslam, but would ultimately fade away as the race went on. There was drama for Chrissy Rouse at the club chicane as he made his way through there. Ryan Vickers, unfortunately, a faller as well, and adding to the DNF list, sadly, for the FHO Racing BMW rider. But then things started really heating up in race 2 of BSP. There was smoke billowing out everywhere. No one knew who was going to get it. Brilliant slipstream from Taz McKenzie. They couldn't watch down in the McCams Yamaha garage, but ultimately, as they made their way through the chicane, watch this from Jason O'Halloran. He just goes up the inside. A slight slide from Taz McKenzie. A photo finish, but a win for O'Halloran from McKenzie and Brad Ray.
Yeah, so race 1 on Sunday, race 2 overall. Yes, crashed out of lap 3, I think it was. Just lost the front into the first complex. Real weird crash. Just can't explain it. Real slow. I actually went into that corner just trying to be preservative. I was looking at a move on Glen Owen. I thought there's no chance, so I pulled back in line, went through the corner, released the brake, front tucked. I wasn't at a hard lean angle or anything, or pushing the front at all. Just a real weird crash. Yeah, unexplainable really. The bike actually felt good, you know. The front felt fine everywhere else. There was no warning, nothing to say that the front was going to be a problem. It just went. So we have to wait until the bike gets back, analyse what happened, and yeah, go again in race 3. But yeah, it's so annoying, you know. It's not what needs to be happening, and especially when you're trying to ride preservative and have a bit in the tank. Those sort of things shouldn't be happening. I don't know why I've been caught out then, so we'll have a look at the data. Sorry to the team, and we'll do our best in the last race.
Go fast.
Less brake, more throttle, it's really easy.
Words of a comment for Jack.
Hold on. Less brake, more throttle, it's really easy.
So Sunday came along for the National Superstock class, and David Allingham it was that started from pole position for a 15-lap race initially. good battles early on, 9 or 10 riders in fact battling away for the podiums. Allingham it was that had the whole shot. Further back, TJ Toms was involved in an incident. Billy McConnell, brilliant move this was as he moved up to second place into the club chicane from 4th into 2nd. Davey Todd and Alex Olsen were ever present, Nesbitt at this moment as well, and Kerr and Rollo. But the Irishman was coming through. This is the brilliant static camera you can see from Church, but not so good news in the background. A horrible, horrible crash for David Allingham brought out the red flag.
Just keep doing what you're doing. You all right, mate?
I'm all right, yeah.
At the moment?
Yeah, there was a lot of heat and men. No, there's a red flag. I think Allingham ran off the track, so I hope he's okay. But they've all, because of the nature of the track, they've authorised a wheel change, so all the Superbike boys have jumped next door and kind of all hands on deck, new wheels, fuel, etc. So now it's an 8-lap race. See what happens.
And we're sending our best wishes to David at the moment. It was going to be an 8-lap restart with Alex Olsen on pole position this time alongside Billy McConnell and Davey Todd. And this time round it was the Padgett's Honda rider Davey Todd that managed to get the whole shot. Another big moment for Richard Kerr, number 5, on the approach to turn 1. And these three looked like they were going to be the class above the rest, although Nesbitt was flying through with brilliant lap times. Olsen managed to get through on Davey Todd, and there could be no answer for him. McConnell managed to get up into second, but could not catch him. Alex Olsen with the double here at Thruxton, ahead of Billy McConnell, and Charlie Nesbitt beat Davey Todd to 3rd here in race 2.
Double hit this weekend. Season very much now back on track. Only 30 points down from the championship standing there. What does it mean just to really get back in the mix like you have done this weekend?
Yeah, it's been good to come here and do the double again. We've done it in 21, do it in 22, and this week happens in 23. But yeah, it's good. It's nice to be back on the top step again, where we need to be, where the team needs to be, and yeah, it's just nice to get the championship back underway. It's been a long year for us so far, so hopefully this is getting the ball rolling. What can I say? 2021 done the bubble, 2022 done the double, so we might have to ride in 23 now, mightn't we? Keep the championship going, but who knows what's going to happen? It's a long year. You know, we're glad to get the championship back on track. Shame it's taken to round 6 to start getting back on the podium, but you know, the team's dug deep. They put the same effort in every weekend, if we're up the sharp end or not. You know, keep digging deep every weekend, and it's nice to finally repound with a double victory, and made a deal with Fayla. If we got the double, we got to go in the Lambo, so she best get the keys out.
Well, first of all, obviously, massive well done to Alex. He did a really good job this weekend with the double win, so it's nice to see Alex. We get on well that he's doing so well. Be nice if I could replicate it, but it's looking like we need a bit more luck at the moment, to be honest. I actually rode quite a lot better in the second race, and the team worked super hard all weekend to finally actually get me a setting that I felt really comfy with. And we seem to have made a step with that. Just we've made a small handlebar change, so just simple control change actually made me feel a lot better on the bike. So that's a huge positive, to be honest. It made the bike a lot more rideable for me, a lot more as to how I like it. So I think that stands us in good stead going into Cadwell in a few weeks. It's going to be obviously another track that I haven't actually ridden on the 1000. So it's always tricky when you go to these tracks and everyone's got a bit of a one-up on you, but we'll work hard as usual. We'll do everything we can, and we'll try and find the best setting we can possibly get, and try and be more towards the front where the team belong, and I feel like I belong too.
Bennetts BSB Race 3, well, after a barnstormer earlier on, what did we have in store with the 3 Yamaha riders? On the front row again, Brad Ray on pole, looking for first victory of the weekend, and would it be a treble for Jason O'Halloran? As the lights went out, it was his teammate Taz McKenzie, the defending champion, that got the whole shot ahead of his teammate O'Halloran, with Brad Ray in third. It was also a good start from Lee Jackson and Kyle Ride. Couple of corners down, and there were 4 Yamahas out front. Kyle Ride going very strong after a difficult weekend. Further back there was drama for Dean Harrison. He was clipped by Tom Sykes and Ryan Vickers into the club chicane, losing his visor in the process. Peter Hickman had early work to do as he battled Lee Jackson, and then ultimately Peter Hickman to try and get up into Kyle Wright to get up into the top 4. Josh Brooks, a miserable little weekend ended for him as he pulled out with a mechanical failure. And for some time, Taz McKenzie was leading the race, a good 13-14 laps without being challenged. Kyle Wright then went down over at turn 4. It's been a tough weekend for the rider known as Youth. There was lots of paint swapping going on between Danny Kent and Lee Jackson as well. Peter Hickman was gutted. He was just in touch with the Yamahas, but an electrical failure meant he had to pull out of the race. And then the battle began for the race win. O'Halloran made his move. Brad Ray got in on the action as well. And the countdown was on to see who would be victorious in the third and final race. As we got to the closing stages of Big
I think everything just went up.
Well, finally some positive news. Thanks to Alex. Yeah, good weekend at Thruxton. Weather's been unreal. Too hot. Certainly won't want to be riding a bike, and it puts a lot of pressure on the strain and pressure on the bikes with this temperature. But I've been great. The Superstock boys, Jack's obviously he's still finding his feet on a big 1000cc, but made some good changes, and I think he's going in the right direction now. So yeah, looking forward to see what he does over the next few rounds. Alex was great. He was strong here last year, so I think he was full of confidence. We knew he had a fairly good setting, and he's a thinker. So if you watch him on a bike, he almost looks like he's out for a Sunday cruise. So he watched his pit board. He took his time, and he had more tyre than most at the end. So yeah, awesome job. Great to get some wins. Great for the team and morale and everything. So thanks, Alex. You made the weekend a lot easier with that. And then back to the Superbike boys. Ryan's been strong. He struggled a little bit, but he's gone in the right direction. He's turned a corner with the bike for sure, but he's having a bit of bad luck at the minute, getting taken out and people running him onto the grass, and nothing they're doing wrong. They're having their own bad luck. So I think in the last race he was last. He got caught up with Dean and had a little tour across the grass. But from last, I think he finished 13th, and his times were arguably a little bit stronger sort of mid-race than the front guys, so only by a tenth or two. But yeah, really good, happy, and yeah, just hopefully luck turns the corner for him a little bit, and he can get what he deserves. And then on to Pete, who always loves this place. It's quite a ballsy track. I guess a few lampposts and brick walls would make him feel like he's at the TT, and it'd be at home, but no, he's been strong. He's been great. Qualifying second, fastest lap he's ever done round here. So I think that's mega. On the BMW, which I'll say it's not the worst bike out there by a long shot. It's definitely a good package, and it works well round here. But we're just lacking speed against the Yamahas. They just look after the tyre better than what we do. So he finished 5th yesterday. He ran out of tyre at the end. We made some good improvements overnight. And he was strong. He went with the boys, he sat with them, but again, the last four or five laps, they stay at the same pace and we drop off. So we made some changes. So he finished 4th, which was great, 5th and 4th, and he was looking strong in the last race. I think he got a bad start, was 8th, but got back to 4th. Caught up with the boys, set the fastest lap of the race, which was encouraging. And then I think it was about lap 15, I think. Yeah, he just stopped, so. Yeah, Lady Luck left early today, so we've had a quick look at the bike. It's actually an earth terminal that's snapped, so it's stupid. But
Didn't that happen at Alton Park Test?
it did. We had, yeah. So because of that reason, we change it every weekend. But yeah, it's an inherent problem with the harmonics and the vibration of the engine creates issues with switches and connectors and things like that. So we've pretty much got to the bottom of all the issues. It's just that one. We thought we'd sorted it just by replacing it every weekend, but whether it's just something with this track that's causing it, and the heat obviously doesn't help. We've had to fit a different, an extra carbon guard on the exhaust and things like that because Pete's foot was nearly on fire, so he was struggling a bit. So yeah, I don't know if it's just the nature of the track or what, but anyway, we're gonna solve that once and for all. We're gonna have a word with our wiring guru and see if he can sort that out and come up with a different plan. But overall, mega weekend, best of the rest. Superstock wins, more trophies, more silverware. Boss is happy. Yeah, just need a little holiday now before Cadwell. It's our home round. Quite excited about it. There'll be lots of locals there, lots of friends and family and stuff, so it'll be really good. And yeah, I think the only downside is obviously Rogie will be there again, but what can you do about that?